Hello people. Excuse me while I get my notes up here. Um, Welcome to Kino 148. My name is Brian. I'm the co-host of Kino Sydney, and this is Christine to my right or my left, I can't tell. Christina, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Christina. I'm also the co-director of Kino.
Cool. Okay, Chris, our regular host, just cut you off there. Chris, our regular host, couldn't be with us tonight, so he's going to be working behind the scenes, mainly on the YouTube stream. If you're tuning in via YouTube, you can also tune in via Facebook. John, our usual sound mixer and projectionist, is going to be keeping a lookout on Facebook, and he's going to be helping us out behind the scenes. Tom is in charge of live streaming tonight, and Tom is an expert at this stuff. So if there's any stuff ups tonight, you can blame me, or you can blame Christina as well. I think
It's
we
probably
can
going to
both
be
take the blame for
me.
that.
I think I'm going to do a lot of stuff ups tonight. So,
Okay, cool. All right. Well, it's public. Christina has accepted full responsibility for how
yeah.
tonight goes. Um, obviously, we are coming to you, straight into your homes, which is not something that we would normally do. Obviously, because events all over in Australia and the world have pretty much stopped. So we're coming to you straight into your living rooms tonight. I think for the first time format through Kino Sydney. So thank you all for being here and supporting us. This is going to be a bit of a rocky night, I feel, but we'll push on through. Um, yeah, obviously, we're all here of the COVID-19 crisis around the world. As always, we're here to try and support I guess the filmmaking community in Sydney, and we're going to show you some fantastic films tonight. I'm not sure if we can get up the social media picture or not, but if we could, that would be great, and I could have a chat about that. Fantastic, there it is. Okay, so as always, if you want to find out more about us on Facebook, well, we're on Facebook. Also on Instagram, and we're on Meetup. So if you want to know when the next screening is on, or just find out any information about what's going on with independent filmmaking in Sydney and around Australia, you can find us at those places. We've also got our website, which is kinosydney.com. So if you want to reach out to us, they are the ways that you can. That's how you can find us. Now, since we're not uh, having a live meeting in person, we're not charging our filmmakers, and we're not charging an audience. So we thought we would put that money maybe towards some better use. So if we get the other graphic up on the screen, I think that was, so the OzHarvest
OzHarvest.
graphic. Yep. Yeah, we're doing a bit of a shout out for OzHarvest. I'm sure you've heard of them. They're doing a relief at the moment. People who are struggling through these very difficult times. A lot of people have lost jobs and are losing income. Especially among casual and freelancers and those in the hospitality industry. So OzHarvest are putting their time and energy and resources into providing relief for this. At this, we're going to keep sharing tonight, and we'll put up a link on the Facebook page if you would like to donate. So um, we might head into our first film.
It's
So I'm going to get up my
from
list.
it's John Luna, and it's John Luna's haiku that we're about to screen.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Whenever you're ready, Tom.
Cool.
Well, it's been 2 weeks already. Now might be a good time to get some groceries. I'm starving. Another week of meagering it is.
Cool.
Hey, cool. Can we get
Okay.
John up, please?
That was short and sweet. Now, John's helped us
John's
out
not
behind the
online.
scenes, so I'm not sure if
Hey. No, he's gone.
can he? He's gone again. Okay.
Yeah, he's back.
There you are. All right, John, can you say something so we can hear you?
Something. How about that? Does that work?
That works.
Oh,
That's
boy.
excellent work for this. That's excellent work for the sound mixer. So I might just ask you, that was a very, very short film. Why was it so short?
Well, there's kind of a limited space around here where I am, so there's limited location choice considering the circumstances. So, and considering I'm a sound guy attempting film, I think it'll be a bit easier to just do something simple. So, that's the reason why I just stuck with haikus.
Oh,
Well,
and you mentioned
you're known to
haikus.
do, yeah. You've done many
For sure.
haikus
Go
in
ahead.
your life.
Yeah, I have. Started late 2018. Just been doing quite a few haikus in 2019, and I just wanted to, as part of the Kino team, contribute something for tonight. So, yeah.
Do you want to explain to the audience at home, for those that don't know, what a haiku is and in film terms?
Yeah, sure. Well, as you saw, that film was really short. It was about 20 seconds exactly. The film haiku it is a 20-second film, but it has a specific structure, which involves one shot of 5 seconds, which was me opening the blinds, another shot of 7 seconds, which was me complaining that I'm stuck here, which is a bit truer to life than I'd hope, and the last 5 seconds is the shot of me getting to the door, but it's a structure of 5, 7, 5, like the lines of haiku, and then last 3 seconds credits, and yeah, that's a film haiku.
Cool. And were you planning to actually go out, or did you order
Yeah, I
the
might
food?
just say, yeah. Sorry.
In a way, yeah. Like, obviously, there's a lot less monsters and like very, very lots of danger in my area where I live. So that's not much fear of that. But yeah, like people have been trying to do. They've just been trying to stay in as safe as possible. Try to listen to the general medical advice around, just so we can hopefully just in the long term just slow things down in terms of the of what COVID's doing to the world, really. So
Cool. Is Brian still there, or? I think. Okay.
I am not too sure.
Have you
Brian
got?
is
Have you
just
got?
very, very observant.
Have you got any plans for next Kino? Are you planning to continue the saga?
I'm hoping not to continue the saga, because hopefully by the time next Kino happens, this will be all over and none of us have to worry about it. But at the very least, I still want to keep on being creative again, and hopefully by next Kino, every one of us will actually be able to do that a lot more freely than what a lot of tonight's films will have, at least in the circumstances anyway. Basically, just hopefully things could get closer back to normal now. So that's in due time.
Cool. Thanks, John. Shall we
Before I
go on
head
to...
out, I just
Yep.
want to shout out the rest of the Kino team. Whoever's watching out there, that'll be Chris Hale, obviously, in the YouTube side of things. The rest of our team, David Kang, Kenny Fu, who I see in the Facebook chat now, Donna Hogan as well, who's been around a lot, and as well as Addie Fong. Hopefully, you guys, as well as us watching and everyone around the world, is staying safe and healthy.
It's a great message. Do we have any questions that have come through, or no?
Not on my end, no. I think people are just
Okay.
happy to be here, for another Kino at the very least. Not sure about Chris's end, but anyway, we can only go up from here.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, thanks, John. It was a great little film you've made at Housebound, and I hope that encourages other people to make those sorts of films while we're all in isolation. But yeah, let's head on to the next film, which is also another... No worries. So the next film is also another film inspired by current events in isolation. It's called Rain Check, and it's by Natasja. I can't quite pronounce the last name. Piastra. Anyway, she'll let us know how it's pronounced. So sorry, Natasja. Here's Rain Check.
Hey Mark, yeah, I'm sorry. My alarm didn't go off this morning. I'm gonna be late. Absolutely. I'll see you in 10 minutes. Okay, bye. Hi, Sam. Hey, how are you? I just put a show on for the kids. I'm gonna put them to bed soon. How's it going? Okay, have fun. Bye. Hi, Viv. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I need to cancel for tonight. Yeah, they need me to babysit until about 11. All right. Okay, guys, time to turn the show off.
The Italian Deputy Health Minister Pierpaolo Sileri says that he believes Italy is currently experiencing the peak of the coronavirus outbreak. More than 10,000 people have died there, the highest death toll anywhere in the world. He told the BBC that the country might see a drop in the death rate in a week or 10 days' time. Mr. Sileri was speaking to the BBC's Andrew Marr.
I believe the lockdown starts to work. I mean, we start the lockdown at the middle of March. I mean,
What are people doing with their time? I've always been very rushed. I never made time for myself. I hate being on my own. What if this whole thing was meant to teach us something? Maybe the universe has a way of giving you exactly what you need in the moments you need it. We need each other, but we also truly need ourselves.
What have you guys been doing during this time, right?
Now I have so much free time. I think I'm actually going to make a movie.
That looks pretty awesome.
Yeah! It's actually given me the time to make a movie.
time to make.
Cool.
Okay, we're just waiting on a. Hi there.
Hi.
Great film.
Thank you.
Can you, is it based on yourself, or I think because you've got a bit of film background, so is it entirely something that you've been meaning to do more of, or?
Well, it is, well, I didn't make it like being based on myself, but now I look back at it, I do actually see that it could be about me. I'm definitely planning on making more films, not so much about the whole situation we're in, but it was a nice, how do you say that? Like opening to make something.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, sorry, we've got multiple streams of communication where we're talking to each other and opening different files, and I'm obviously looking to the side where I can see you, but then not looking directly at you. It's all very overwhelming, and neither of us have done this before, so sorry. We're not presenters. We're behind the scenes. But go ahead, Brian.
Oh, yes. Can I be heard? Can you hear me, Natasja?
Yes.
I do,
Oh,
yeah.
fantastic. Okay, great. So do you have any formal training in filmmaking at all, or have you just learned on your own?
Yeah, I learned it on my own, really. Especially, I have some experience in television, but never done anything like film, so.
Oh, great. So what sort of aspects of filmmaking do you like the most? Do you like shooting, editing, directing, or?
I think I like directing the most, but honestly, I really liked every single thing I did for this movie. Yeah, and it's just great, I think, to see your story, which is in your head, coming to life, and that you mainly see in the edit, obviously. So, but I think directing, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And how did you find yourself making films? Like, did you have any other sort of creative outlet before?
Well, I like to surf, so nothing to do with film. Um, but
So
that's
did you
pretty
say
much
surf?
it. Yeah.
Oh, great. Oh, that's cool. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up on a beach, so I can kind of relate to that. Yeah.
But that's at least some like it's something that gives me creativity to like it's not a creative thing to do obviously, but it gives me creativity.
Yeah, yeah. Excellent. Do you have any? Oh, actually, I've got a question here. Where was the music from?
So I actually got it from premiumbeats.com and then you just need to buy it.
Good old, good old Premium Beats. Yeah, yeah. Premium Beats is
Yeah.
pretty good in a lot of ways because you can just buy the whole song, or you can buy part of the song, or just like little sections of the song and mix and match in whatever way
Yeah,
you like.
it's
Yeah.
it's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, while we're on the subject of music licensing, I should say that I like using artlist.io, which has an annual fee that you pay, and you can have unlimited access to their music. And they've got sound effects there now too, which is good if you want to check that out.
Oh,
Cool. So, have you
nice.
got any other films planned ahead in the near future?
Yeah, there is one I want to make with one of my friends, which is actually about the current situation as well, but then with kids. So and an animation. It's going to be interesting.
All right. Well, stay watching tonight because you're going to see a brilliant animation that Christina is responsible for as well. So look out for that.
Nice.
I was
So maybe,
I was going to ask, was that
yes?
your roommate that you were filming? Just back onto the film.
So she's my colleague actually from another job I'm doing. So
Okay.
we did know each other.
Okay. All right. That's all
We
I
have
want to
another
know.
question here as well. Sorry, Christine, just jump in there. We have another question here, in that it's was it all natural lighting?
Yeah, all natural lighting. I also didn't use an external microphone, and it's all shot on my old Olympus.
Oh, which Olympus is
Okay.
it?
It's the Olympus EM10 Mark III, if I'm right.
Cool, cool. We like to geek out on gear talk every now and then, so it's good to talk about that sort of stuff. Fantastic. And do you have any advice for people who are thinking about taking the dive into filmmaking?
I would really say just do it, because once you start off with an idea, you will see that it actually just it comes, and before you know it, you have actually a movie. I mean, this one was made in 48 hours, so yeah, just start.
Great advice.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And just on that 48-hour time constraint, we might just mention very quickly, if I can be heard properly through the streaming service right now, but Kino chapters around the world, and including us here in Australia, in Sydney and in Melbourne. Shout out to the Filmonic guys, who are hopefully tuning in right now. But every year we have a 48-hour filmmaking challenge called the Kino Cabaret. We're going to have one, hopefully we'll have one in November, pending how the COVID crisis goes. But yeah, so we meet up on a Friday night, shoot on a Saturday, edit on a Sunday, and screen our films on the Monday. So it's a really fast-paced, energetic way of making films, and really blowing those cobwebs out if you have any reservations about diving into filmmaking. And you can see you can create something fantastic, just like Natasja has here with her film. So thank you very much, Natasja, for
Yeah, thank
showing us
you.
your film tonight. Hopefully we'll see you again sometime. Okay, Christina, over to you.
Well, I think the next film is the film that I made with my niece and nephew. And it's called Elton and Friends. It's a little claymation. Enjoy, it's ridiculous, so have some fun. Okay,
Okay.
so the wrong video was played. There was sound originally and credits, but this is without it. So,
Okay. Well, maybe we'll play it again later on with the sound, because the sound is an integral part of the artistry of that film. Having edited it
Yeah.
myself, I could tell
There's
you.
one little
So
sound piece that, but I'm sure you could have imagined it when you saw the little butt cheeks moving. There's definitely
absolutely, yeah.
sound that you can. But yeah,
Mm.
do we want to
Okay,
roll
we'll
it
have to get that
again
one back
or
up.
not? No. Okay.
Well, maybe we can try later,
Yeah.
and maybe go on to the next film for the moment. What do you reckon?
Yep. Yep. Sounds good to me.
Okay.
So that was No
All right.
Surrender. But we're just waiting on the two filmmakers to appear.
Well, I think that was a great film anyway. I mean, that was, I think the struggle was real there. I think it's something we can all relate to at the moment.
Yeah. Still can't find toilet paper in the shops, so it's still very real.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm wondering if we're having problems contacting the filmmakers, maybe we can go back and play Elton and Friends, maybe, possibly.
Yeah. Do you want to do that? Sure. And then we can find the other filmmakers
Yep.
straight after. Okay, sounds good.
Okay, cool. All right.
Okay. Hey, there was sound. Third time lucky. Third time's a charm.
All right, Christina, I might interview you about this. So, um, like you're a filmmaker, but what else do you do? What's your other sort of creative background?
I do a lot of photography. I like to make sets and pretty crafty in that sense. But yeah, I mean, I mainly shoot rather than produce or make films. So films is something that I want to do more of, but yeah, photography is easy and quick to do and create, essentially.
Cool.
Whereas I hate editing, so I asked you to do it. Yeah.
Well, it was
and just source music.
well,
Yeah.
yes. Well, it was pretty easy edit. It was pretty much just putting all the images together and just pacing them out a little bit. Admittedly, I didn't spend a whole lot of time on it, but I already had some songs in mind for that, which gave I think gave the story the kind of gravitas it deserved. So
Okay.
I think it worked out pretty well. And so there are some questions coming through. So who designed the characters?
So when it says starring, it each character was named was created by either my niece. So the Elton John looking character was my niece Olivia who made that. She's 12. And then Josh made Mr. Problems, which is the big orange guy that farts. And he's 9. And then I made the monster guy. Yeah.
Cool. Have you done
So,
stop animation before? Or claymation?
I haven't. I haven't. I've sort of done something with the kids before, like about a year ago. We did something similar. So I need to dig that up and
Yeah.
put that together. But there's a common theme in what we make. So, but I think this one didn't have farting, but it did have fighting. It was a fighting sequence. But maybe next Kino we'll screen that.
Okay, right. So farting and
Yeah.
violence is basically your kind of areas of choice. Is that right?
Yeah, it's action packed. It's
Action packed.
and
Sorry, excuse
got
me.
the
Okay.
laughs. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, with this
Awesome.
one, I wouldn't mind adding in some vocals. I think the monster needs a grrr sound. But
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
we can develop it on the next cut.
Cool. Yeah. And
Yeah.
sequels, of course. Okay.
Oh,
Right.
of course. Well, we'll have to redesign the characters because they've all been smashed up and thrown in the bin. But
Okay. It's a bit
unfortunately,
drastic. Okay.
it's
Cool.
the
Well,
nature of the
great
industry.
effort. It's
Yeah.
right. Yep. Well, great effort. It was a great film, fun to work on. Speaking for myself as well. I believe we have our filmmakers from the previous film online.
Yay.
Should we bring them in?
Yes. Hey.
Hey,
Nice to see you.
can you hear us? Ooh, can we hear you?
We can't hear you. Say something.
Oh, sorry, I muted
Oh
the
no.
mic. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Ah, right. Oh, fantastic.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yep,
we
loud and
can.
clear.
Loud and clear. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So is this your first Kino film? Because I know you've been to Kino a couple of times. But is this the first submission you've
This
made to
might be.
Kino?
Uh, Yes, I mean in Sydney, but I made some missions in France before. 2 submissions in France, but only one in Sydney.
Okay. Which was this one?
Cool.
Yes, this
Cool.
one, yeah.
Yeah. Are you planning to do more now?
Yeah, I think it was
Mm-mm.
Okay. Connections. We just want to make contact.
Should we
Freeze.
move on?
Yeah. Okay, we'll move on and hopefully we can bring back Gildas.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay, cool. We'll move on to the next film. Shall I read this one
Which
out?
is, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So this one is by Ahmad Parapil. I hope I got that right. The film title is Fen, and just it's a F-E-N, and just a content warning. There are some strong images, only blood, but there's no gore or nudity or anything like that. So there are some strong images here. So yeah, go for it.
You okay?
Why?
Just are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm sorry, babe. He'll be here soon and he'll be wondering. Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this bread, our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Are you going to speak? I was talking to Osmond today. They had us overtime. He was telling me about his family up in Chelsea and what they all do. He asked me about us. Do you know that I froze up? I told them that you were working from home and that our son is a great student. That he's a sensible boy, almost a man now. That one day he'll grow up into a stronger man than me. I told him that we were very much in love. I know. Don't worry. I know it all.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us our trespasses and lead us no into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, and thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven.
Well, that was very creepy.
Yeah, it's a nice nighttime film.
Yeah, great to watch before you
Um,
go to sleep at night. That's fantastic. Do we
yeah,
have Ahmed on
I'll.
the line?
No, we don't. We still have Olympio, apparently. Um, we're just trying to figure
Okay.
that out. But will you eat fish
Okay.
again? That is the question.
Cool. Well, while we're getting that link sorted out, I might just talk a bit about what Kino actually is, because I don't know if I've actually talked about that yet. Um, if you have never been to a Kino screening before, if you don't know what Kino is about, um, this is it. About 21 years ago now, in 1999, the end of the world was about to happen, and not like it is now. It was a different kind of impending doom in the form of a computer bug called Y2K. And for those of you old enough to remember it, you would remember that this bug was going to wreak havoc all around the world. You know, planes were going to crash, computer systems were just going to die everywhere. So the world was going to end. And so so a bunch of filmmakers in Montreal decided to make films every month until the end of the world would happen at the stroke of midnight for the year 2000. The end of the world did not happen, so they continued to make films, and the Montreal chapter of Kino was born, and it grew bigger and bigger, and then spread around the world, and came to Sydney in 2006. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it came down to Melbourne around about 2013, maybe. Someone from Filmonic can correct me on that in the chat on Facebook or YouTube. But yes, so that's how Kino has come about, and we've been making screenings ever since. And the screening numbers that you see, so tonight is 148. That's the number of screenings that we've had since inception back in 2006. So if you want to come along and screen your film, doesn't matter what kind of background you have, or whether you're an amateur enthusiast or a professional, we want to see your films. So if you would like to screen your film online like we're doing now, or in person in the future when we can all come together and social distancing will be a thing of the past, bring it on. We want your
Okay.
films. Okay.
I
Have we got
believe we
Ahmed?
have Ahmed. Yeah.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey. Hello.
Hi, Ahmed. That was quite an interesting film. Can you tell us a bit about what inspired you, or where did you draw inspiration?
Well, we wrote this a long time ago, actually. It was based off a story of from my friend, who's actually the actor of the father in the film, and he was just telling me about his, I guess, situation with his life and whatnot, and I pretty much, asked him if I could use that story and exaggerate it to something else, and do my own thing with that, and that's where it pretty much began.
Okay. And did you draw any inspiration stylistically from films? Because it has.
Yeah. We obviously, you can see the 4:3 aspect ratio. It was our aim to kind of keep things very constricted. And originally, I'm a big fan of Wes Anderson films, and I like the idea of how he plays around with aspect ratios and all that. And we were trying to not make it a gimmick. At first, that was our worry, and I think as things progressed, we realized, oh no, this would keep things, because an aspect ratio like that will keep things, I guess, confined and make people focus more on the image, and I guess give that feeling of uneasiness, and that was the aim.
Yeah, I think it definitely comes across, and stylistically, I quite like the cinematography adds to that as well. And it's just beautiful colors.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that was all our cinematographer, Elijah. We shot this with natural light as well, and it was shot at my place. So, I mean, what better place to? So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I saw that you didn't have much of a budget, like that you pretty much shot it on,
Yeah, we used
like
the Canon. Yeah, just a DSLR, and we knew that we had issues, with lighting and all that. But yeah, we just played with what we had, and almost everything was shot with natural light. So we really had to play around with scheduling of our shots and what days to use. We were hoping things were cloudy, and yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What sort of DSLRs did you use? Which Canon DSLRs?
We just used the 80D. Yeah.
All right.
Just yeah. I mean, we didn't really need anything. I guess more expensive than that. And this was back when we did this. It was kind of our first sort of experience with making films, and yeah, it was a fun little experiment that we had.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It's really amazing what you can do with a camera like an 80D, which is kind of a mid-level prosumer kind
That's
of
right.
a camera.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not too familiar with the 80D, but uh, when I started using DSLRs, I was using a Canon 550, and
Oh, yeah.
and that was pretty good in low light. You had a lot of dark scenes in this film. How did you find the 80D handling those scenes?
Mostly it was pretty tough actually, because with that 80D, obviously it's not full frame, so shooting it at dark is really tough. You get a lot of noise. So, and we finally discovered this in the editing process with my editor. He was telling me, "Oh, dude, everything's grainy as hell." So I was like, "Yeah." So and then we thought, okay, then how about in color grading we really go into this stylistic choice of making it look very grainy, and that's why most of the shots in the film has that style to it. So I guess in a way it worked for us. It wouldn't work for everything.
Yeah,
For this
yeah.
film, yeah, we were lucky. Yeah.
I think I think adding some grittiness to a film like that, yeah, it works well. I made a film on an iPhone 8 at night in my own home as well a few
Right.
years ago, and yeah, same situation. Some shots were quite clean, but most of them were very noisy. So we just decided to go with it and just add more noise and more
Yeah,
grain, I should say.
I feel like it being restricted in a way can, in some ways can actually help you out with your film. So, yeah, luckily in this case for us, it worked out.
Yeah. What would you say were some of the key takeaways for you in this film? Because you said it's like one of the first films that you've made. Is that right?
Yeah, first film I directed at least. I've been part of other
Okay.
projects, and recently I did a documentary, but this was the first, I guess, fiction-based film that I did. And I guess the biggest things I learned from that would be, honestly, everything is in the writing. I think you should spend as much time as you can, perfecting just the overall story or the characters, because if you don't have that, then nothing else matters, and no one really would care. At least that's what I learned from that. Yeah. Yeah.
Good point. Good point. Christina, have you got anything you want to add?
Did you learn that point through making documentaries then, or was that something, or through working on other projects?
I feel like with documentaries, it's more well, I don't know. I think overall it's just working on a lot of projects and just learning through time. And yeah, I feel like if you spend a lot of time on a specific project like this one, that Fen, that is, yeah, I think I still believe that the most important thing is just spending your time and not rushing anything, because it's your own sort of project. It deserves time being spent on it if you want it to be good. Otherwise, it will be rushed, and yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, because you had I guess like a short production time, but you
Yeah.
spent longer writing.
Writing was about 2 months, I would say. Which I do, looking back, I do wish I spent a lot more time writing it with my co-writer, Desmond. But yeah, we spent 5 days shooting this, but we spent a lot of time on the editing room because we had to halt it for like 6 months because we just had no idea where to go. And I think just earlier this year, we decided, all right, we're just going to double down on. We kind of didn't really give importance to the story, and we just let the atmosphere kind of brood in. And I think that by the end of it, I think it was worth it doubling down on that decision. Yeah.
Cool. Just I don't know how much time we have, but I just wanted to ask: are you putting this into festivals, anything like
Yeah,
that?
it's on a festival run right now, but because of the situation we're in right now, I have no idea what's going to happen. I'll know like in a month, but I'm glad you guys are doing this, so there's at least one platform where everyone can get to see, and I get to see other great films, you know? So thank you for that. Yeah.
No, thank you. We really appreciate your contribution. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. I believe we have a few questions as well.
Cool.
So someone's asked what microphone is used in this.
Ooh. I think we used Zoom H4n for the recorder, and for the mic, we used the NTG. I mean, they're mostly, I don't know if they're entry level, but a professor that we knew from university, he let us borrow it. So we're very thankful of him for that. But yeah, it's really good audio equipment for confined spaces. So yeah, it worked out for us.
Okay. And the next question is.
I think we've covered a lot of the cinematography.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you want to talk about the budget, how much you spent
Sure.
on the film.
We spent, I mean, honestly, like we spent most of the money on buying food for the actors and ourselves. I think
it's
the
so
house,
important.
And the fish.
Oh yeah, yes, and the fish. Oh my God! Originally, the plan was to get like a ton, like a lot of fish, but we realized that's going to be a lot of money. So we just bought like 10, I don't know, mullets from like a fish store or something nearby. But yeah, this film really doesn't have any budget. It's, you know, we had a location, which was my place, and you know, we have the freedom to do whatever the hell we want here. So we played with that. Yeah.
Did you always have in mind the fish hanging up on the clothesline, or was that something that naturally?
No, that was on set because there's a wide shot of the whole backyard with the boy holding the fish, and I was talking to my cinematographer, and he was saying, "Oh, the left of the frame seems really empty; it's not filled up." So I was like, "All right, let's just hang fishes." So yeah, I think people got the idea. There's a lot of fish there, but
Yeah.
It was.
No, it adds. Yeah, it adds to it, I guess, that kind of eeriness with the fish.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I could probably ask you a zillion more questions, but we probably should move on to the next film.
No, that's completely fine. Yeah. Thank you so much.
No worries. Thank you. It was,
thank you.
Yeah, it was great. It was amazing.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hopefully we'll see more of your work in a future screening. Yeah.
Of course. Looking forward to follow you guys. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Great.
All right. Thanks guys.
So much.
Bye.
Well, thanks very much.
Okay.
Cool.
So the next film is called Being at Home Sucks by Jerome Balding. And here it is.
topic tonight. We've got a few films about isolation, and it's always good to see dogs in films, I think.
Of course. It's an A+ for dogs.
And yeah, Christina, you've often well, you did a great film with dogs. I remember in the Kino Cabaret last year.
Last year, yep. It
Yep.
involved a Labrador that was contemplating life and discovered that dog perfume was what was beautiful about life. So it's a good little ad.
That's right. It was
Yep.
fantastic. We should probably share that a bit later on, I think.
Yeah.
On the I'm just going to put it out there. I think we should share that one. In case you're wondering, the reason we're talking a bit at the moment is because we're trying to get Jerome on the line, and I think we will have him in a moment. But yeah, I think that and some of the other films we've seen tonight can show you how we can use this predicament that we're in as inspiration, I guess, to keep creating in our situation. So, and since we're going to be in this situation for quite a few months ahead, a while, yep. It's probably a good opportunity if you've never made a film before, or if you are a filmmaker and you are stuck at home. Yeah, get your camera out. Try to make a film. Get whatever talent you have around, including your pets. They can be quite compliant. People say often not to work with pets or with animals and children, but as you can see with that film, it can work. Yeah, we would love to see your films in this period of history, I think. Yeah, this is a pretty significant moment in history, and it would be great if the Kino folk out there could get into some filmmaking. I believe we have Jerome on the line.
Yes, hi.
Maybe?
It's going.
Hey!
Hey!
The star!
Lemmy!
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. How are
How's
you
the
guys?
star? Yeah, good.
A leading
See,
lady
you've got,
right here?
yep, the leading lady. And she's wearing a nice little outfit too.
That's right, yes. Designed by Coco Chanel,
Yeah.
especially for this evening.
Yeah, well, you've got to wear the best. Have you directed Lemmy before in any films?
No. She's always quite heavily booked, so I was really lucky to be able to get to work on this project with her at this time. She could just fit me into her schedule right now. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was really lucky.
She's a working dog then.
Yeah. Seasoned professional.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself. This is your first time you screened at Kino.
Yeah.
Mentions you're a
first
film
time
and
screened.
Yep. Have
Yeah,
you made many films before? Because I think it mentioned that you're a film enthusiast. Is this your first attempt at?
Yeah, I've made a few kind of short student films and things. Kind of like a semi-professional. I do mostly like real estate videos and short sort of social media videos for like small businesses and stuff like that. But yeah, still really sort of working my way up to that, and have mostly just worked on short student films, and they've been really cool.
I guess this is a perfect time to kind of develop your own style and voice.
In this isolation period.
Yeah. Well, you're already making the most of it. So.
Yeah. Yeah, with what limited sort of stuff that's available. Yeah, I guess it's a good time to work on all this stuff, which is I'm strangely enjoying that.
Was it difficult? I mean, obviously Lumi's your dog, so was she easy to work with? Or...
No, she's not. I'm borrowing her.
Oh, you're borrowing her?
No, she's my housemate's dog. Yeah, I'm just borrowing her.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Well,
I've just been been practicing with my camera, just in between things.
Okay.
Well,
What did you
Yeah, so I'm
shoot?
just practicing with my
question.
camera and stuff, and mostly she's been around, so yeah, sure.
Sorry, we have
Sorry,
a
what
question.
were you going to say?
Who, me?
I think there's a bit of a lag.
Yeah, you. Yeah.
Oh, me. Okay, great. I was just going to say, we have a question. Was she method acting?
Were you method acting? It's hard to tell. Can't tell if she's acting now as well.
She's just in character all the time.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's kind of like Daniel Day-Lewis as a dog. He's always in character.
Right. Cool. Is she going to retire about 5 times in her career as well?
I think she's retiring now.
And
She's had enough of it.
Oh, she spoke too soon. Cool. But was it difficult working with her, or how did you find working with an animal?
Most of those shots I had taken over a course of weeks. I was just playing around, and put it all together in the last couple of days, and just made just a short storyline. So I was never really working. What wasn't all these shots were just done previously, and was just put together, just edited together into a short little story. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So you kind of worked backwards. You started with the shots, and then you constructed a story out of it. Have we still got him? Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, did you hear the question? You cut it out.
Yeah, no, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, so you kind of worked backwards. Is that right? You got the shots first, and then you created the story to go with it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Are there any
See if there's
more
any other questions?
films on the horizon with Lumi, or is she retiring and you're going to create some different content over the next month or 2?
Yeah, I think she's had enough of working with me. So I've got to just kind of trying to piece together old pieces of footage from other things and kind of try to repurpose it and edit it in different ways to make other short films, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, you have roommates as well, so maybe Lumi's owner can be in the next film.
That's an idea. Yeah, I think they'll like that a lot.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well,
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have?
Well, thanks. I can't see any more questions here. Someone's asked if it takes. Ella has asked if it takes Lumi long to get into character. But I think we've established that she never leaves character. She's always acting.
Yeah.
It's like she's always a dog. It's like she's always been a dog. She's always in that character. Yeah. So yeah, I've been very lucky to work with such a seasoned professional that never breaks character.
Yeah, that's deep. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, thanks for coming along and presenting your film, Jerome. Hopefully, we can see more work from you. And if Lumi's
Thank
schedule
you so
opens up
much,
for you
guys.
again, then we'll see some more work from you.
Thank you so much for this community you're putting together. It's really great.
Yeah, no, thank
We
you.
really appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. And we're already out. Great. What have we got next?
Through the Glass House by Desmond Bravo and Timothy Sharp.
Wow, that was really cool.
Yeah.
Fantastic
We're just
sound design
waiting.
and editing there.
Yeah. Makes you want to use the Super 8. Like I've got a Super 8 sitting at home and I haven't touched it once. It's quite
Actually,
beautiful and nostalgic.
I know I've still got a Super 8 camera in my living room, and I shot some footage at a Kino screening last year, and that same film reel is in that camera, and I haven't finished it off yet. So, yeah, that's a good reminder. Get out there and film with old technology, new technology, whatever it takes. Just get it all together and make something. How are we looking with getting our filmmakers on camera?
We cannot
Anything
find Desmond.
Okay. Well, there are some questions here which well, the filmmakers will need to answer, but this looks like it was a film student project with Desmond and Timothy. And they used a variety of shooting techniques, Super 8 film, as you saw there, and some digital shots as well. But yeah, it sounds like the kind of film that was really made, that evolved during the production. Like they didn't just sort of plan it out at the beginning and make it, like shoot it and then edit it. The whole film evolved over time. So it'll be interesting to hear what they have to say about it. Yeah, when we get them up on screen.
Yeah. Yes.
Cool. Yeah. So Christina, you said you've got a Super 8 camera, is that right?
Yeah, I do. I haven't. I bought it and I bought film, but I have not merged the two together. So
right.
They're
okay.
both
Well, maybe
the
that's
film
something.
sitting in a packet. Yeah. Yeah, it's on the to-do list.
Cool.
I guess I'm assuming Super 8 will the place in Newtown is still open, or we could
Yeah, so
drop
actually, it's a
off
good point.
film.
If there's anyone out there who is interested in shooting Super 8 film, I think Super 8 cameras are not that expensive. The camera that I've got is from like the late 60s. It's a Nikon Super 8 camera, and I actually got it for free, but I had this idea that it was really expensive, and I went online to see how much they were going for, and someone was selling them for about $50. So as far as the camera goes, wasn't that expensive. The expensive part is the film, which I think can cost about $40 for about 3 minutes. And it costs roughly the same amount to develop it. So yeah, one 3 minute reel of film is to shoot and to develop costs more than the camera. But you can probably get some really great, organic, interesting results that you can't get, or that would take a lot more effort in post-production with a digital camera. And it was interesting watching this film, actually. I thought that I didn't realize they'd actually shot all this stuff themselves. I thought they just found it, maybe on YouTube or as stock footage.
Yeah.
Because it's all kind of random and it looks really old, but apparently they did actually shoot.
You should have looked at the fashion. You should have looked at the fashion. It was.
Well, I tried looking at the fashion. It's a bit difficult for me to watch this because I've got a very tiny screen in front of me, and half of it is covered by my own head. And then I've got my laptop down here, and I'm watching the YouTube stream of it, which is about 2 minutes behind what I'm seeing in front of me. So it's all very confusing. Anyway, I'll stop whinging. Have we got these guys yet?
No, they're trying. Timothy's trying to get through.
Yep. Okay.
Until then. But
right. Have we got Sid's film up yet?
Yes.
Yes?
We do. Yes.
Okay.
I think we can play Sid's.
Yep.
Yes.
And then we'll come back to yep. Okay.
Timothy, and then
right.
We should probably also. Anyway, let's continue and.
Cool. Okay.
So Sid's film is called Queen.
Flower bloom at my feet. Don't you know you're queen? Cracked, peeling, widow with disease. Don't you know me? No family safe when I sashay.
Well, that was Queen. And
Thank you,
who have
Sid,
we got?
for that. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
do we have
I always
anyone?
love. No, we don't. Do we feel like impersonating any of the directors?
We could try it. Yeah, I'm willing to try anything at the moment.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm sure Sid would find that hilarious. Maybe.
yeah, absolutely.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I quite love Sid's films, or the past few that he's made in his bedroom. Sid is a regular at Kino, or has been for the past few months. Is often our comedic relief at many of our screenings.
He has been, yeah. I think I'm trying to think the first time I saw one of Sid's films
Halloween
was
last year.
Halloween. That's right. Okay, Sid
Yeah.
wants. I've just got a message from Sid. He does want us to impersonate him. I think you should do that job, Christina.
No way.
Yeah, you impersonate Sid, and then I'll impersonate you.
Okay. Well, I'll do my hair and tie it back.
I wish I had my stripy shirt on, but I don't. Sorry.
Yeah. He has a bit of an American accent that I.
He
Well,
does.
I guess he talks like. I cannot do it. Wait, say something American and then I'll follow. Like, say something in an American accent and then I'll. Yeah. I need to hear it first before I. Well, then we're
I'm
both
hopeless at doing
hopeless.
American accents. No.
What's it?
I don't know what type of US accent. I'm assuming US accent.
I feel like
he
someone
has.
that is really into basketball. It's like, I don't know. Is there?
Well, he is a tall guy, so that would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just that I don't know. Yeah, we should guess. Guess where Sid's from.
East Coast or West Coast? Or
West
Texas?
Coast. Yeah. My money's on
definitely
Texas.
I think. Yeah, my money's on Texas. Definitely
Yeah.
Texas.
Yeah.
And yeah, that would just explain so much. Yeah. But yeah, no, yeah, Sid's been a regular at Kino, since Halloween. And he did a fantastic film at our cabaret last year, which I believe was the first cabaret he took part in. And made a great film with you, actually, playing a grey-haired mother.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we can actually screen that one online publicly, but yeah, it was a great film anyway.
Yeah.
I'm sensing we might be getting people.
Yes. So back to the previous film, we have Desmond and Timothy on.
Cool.
Or maybe not. Yes, we got one
yes,
of
we
you.
Have. Oh.
Which can we hear you though? That is the question.
I can't hear.
I can't hear you. Is this Desmond? Or Timothy?
Yes.
Yay! Okay, I think I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Great. I don't know what's going on with Tim, but I think he's just figuring everything out. We're all figuring everything out, so it's fine. All in the same boat.
That's cool. That's cool.
Well, let's.
You know,
it is. Two directors always chaotic. But yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can get it.
You could just steal the limelight and forget about Tim. Who's Tim? It was all
No,
Desmond's film.
he was so he was so important. Like so many of the things were just like his ideas, like the Super 8, which was a really cool experience to work with.
Yeah. Have you worked with Super 8 before?
No, this was the first time. It was something I had wanted to do for a while, and he had one lying around, and we were just discussing a lot of different ideas for the project, and he suggested, hey, why don't we just try and blow a lot of money and send it off to one of the few places that still process it in I think it was in Melbourne. But it was a great experience. Sorry about that. It was a great experience, honestly. Like I think that's somewhat what made the film for us. Just in the editing suites when we had the Super 8 finally scanned, we were looking through the footage. Everyone was just coming down to see it, and it was something.
Did you have a certain shot list in mind, or was it all kind of on the fly
footage? The whole thing
footage?
came about was, the way it all came about was we were supposed to do a documentary, a based project for our film course, but we kind of wanted to take action. We were just thinking of just giving ourselves more freedom. So we were building the concept, and at the same time, we started to just shoot out in public. We knew we wanted to accumulate a lot of footage, and kind of have this free association between all these different images and ideas and stuff. So we just started shooting. There were some plans, kind of like a little treatment where we had some ideas of little things that we'd like to film and capture. But other than that, it was just going to places, North Sydney, walking around, really interacting with things, and just seeing what was there. That was a really good experience. Because often it's not quite like that in a film, like a student environment. Everything's very controlled and stuff like that. It was really good to just feel very free.
Are you planning on making more films on Super 8?
I think. Oh,
hey, Timothy.
Yeah.
Can you hear us, Timothy?
Let's see. Oh.
We can't hear you.
I can't. You can't hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, we
can
yep.
now. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. You can. Awesome.
Are you planning on making more films on Super 8?
Is that to me or to Des?
I didn't. It's replaying. It's some looping.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
You might need to turn down your live stream if you've got it on, like the YouTube link. Yeah. I had that problem before.
Yeah. We're good now.
Cool.
Okay.
Sweet.
So have the two of you collaborated before? Is this your first collaboration?
Yeah, I think basically
this was our first one, kind of.
Yeah, I think.
How did you find the experience?
How do we find the experience?
Yeah, working with someone else that was co-directing it with you.
Do you want to go first, Des?
Do we take it? Yeah, I guess I could.
Yeah, you take it.
I think it was definitely. I think we were the right. We had this like a similar method, even before. Like we had met in the university. We talked a lot and shared the kind of things that we liked and stuff like that. So I just think we were never so worried about how the collaboration could go because it felt like we already kind of knew each other. We knew what kind of things we wanted to make, and we knew that we were both very free, and we both were willing to go to random, very weird, strange places. So it never felt like there was never any trepidation with it. And the collaboration just worked really well. We were constantly changing things. It felt like we were free to, at any time, just take the concept in a different direction, which is something that you often feel when it's just you, especially if you're writing or something like that. You can take something and you can stretch it any way you want until you finally have to deliver it to someone. That's only then when things sort of get locked down. So I think the only worry in a collaboration is when you don't have that. But with us, it was always so free. Felt like just one kind of, one thing moving towards something. Yeah.
Had you watched other Super 8 films beforehand before you decided the direction that you wanted to take, or did you just kind of go with the flow?
Tim, do you want to take that one? Because you're
I'll take that. If can you guys e-game me?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. We had watched a couple of sort of little Super 8 things, but it was a lot of just home movie stuff, really. Nothing too professionally done. But we took a lot of inspiration from experimental filmmakers that had experimented a lot with 16mm footage. So filmmakers such as Stan Brakhage and Jonas Mekas. And so we looked at a lot of their sort of work and how they used the actual celluloid film as sort of they would sort of mark up the film. They would use that to create different images that you couldn't get like through a camera, and that was a big inspiration for us for moving forward with this project. Is trying to find new ways of interpreting or filming footage, which you can't necessarily do in an editing room or with digital footage. It sort of has to come from something more tangible and something more real, I guess.
And the format, was that something as well that you decided in the editing suite to have boxes? To not like have it on the full screen, but
that was very much like after we accumulated a lot of the footage. Yeah, that was very much like I said, that we felt a tremendous freedom because we could just accumulate footage, have a basic concept, which was we were trying to look at perception and stuff in the world and how that changes over time and these kinds of ideas. But there wasn't always a very clear, complete structure from the get-go. So when we in pre-production, we had all this footage that we'd accumulated from Super 8 and digital, and we wanted people to focus on certain aspects of the footage, like movements and things like that. Like we noticed like little interactions between the footage, but when we just screen it in a fairly common aspect ratio, a full-size image, widescreen, people were not really. It just felt like just generic images that we were really, really struggling to make connections out of. And then there was this one short that I'd watched, which I think it was, I'm going to butcher the name, but it was Laszlo Mahologinagi who did this. He had shot this, basically this piece on a moving sculpture. It's this moving sculpture that was in a museum, and he'd filmed it, and he got a piece of paper, he cut out a circle, and he used that to like just obscure the hull that you could see and show like a portion of the sculpture as it was moving around. And I just liked that idea a lot, and I just thought we were both thinking maybe we should just kind of focus people's attention to what we want them to see and obscure what we don't want them to see. And they just sort of developed from there.
Yeah, I think stylistically it does really draw you into those, like the hand movements, and yeah, it makes sense. Like now that you
it diverts your eye to a certain point.
Yeah.
But it's just another example of like we'd have a strange idea and we would just go with it. We were just really it's students figuring out where you can take the form of a short. What can we do with it? And one of the things we were trying to get through was making it like one unified experience, which I think that's one thing that we've learned a lot is that there were a lot of ideas in the film, and there was a lot of things that we wanted to convey. And I think it's sometimes this really this expanse of just ideas that I think we were just kind of throwing it and working with and seeing how they would go together.
I guess you got this interesting mix of. Yeah. I was just going to
Sorry.
say there's that voyeurism
Mhm.
element to it, as well as, yeah, like staged shots, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so things that we
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, we sort of created ourselves, and images that we literally just went out and shot and saw on literally on the street or on the streets of Sydney. So but I found that one of the things that came from shooting it the way we did was we sort of, because how we went about our process was that we had written a list of sort of things that we wanted to, and we went out with the Super 8 camera and we just sort of looked for all these different moments that we sort of conveyed these ideas that we wanted to get out. So one of my favorites was, it comes at the very end, and it's a little girl running through the water, through the lake. And that was literally, we were in Hyde Park in the city, and we saw this, it was literally this, 3, 4 year old girl who was just playing in the water and running through it, and her parents were standing by, and so we went up to her parents and were just like, is it all right if we just film your daughter running through the lake here? And they said, that's fine with us. And so we just crouched down with the Super 8 camera and filmed it, and it's honestly just such a pure moment of sort of innocence and joy in this little girl. And I think that's just sort of it sort of shows what you can do if you really go out there looking for these moments, and for these sort of little bits of beauty in the world. And that's sort of a big part of what us to create this project, is to find those elements.
If I can chime in, I want to talk a bit about the sound design in a moment, but we just got a couple of questions here. It seems like you shot everything yourself. How long did it take you to shoot all that stuff?
Roughly around 2 months,
I'd say. Yeah.
Say.
Yeah.
It's hard to say because
quite early, and so
we did a lot of test footage that ended up in the film. Surprisingly, a lot of the macro shots and the Super 8 stuff was filmed earlier than all the staged sequences. So roughly it was on and off for about 2 months of shooting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now we have another question here, and I don't know. I don't know what the reference is exactly because I haven't seen these films before. But were you inspired by the brothers Quay at all? Are you familiar with their work?
Brothers K. No, I mean, can't say so.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
I know of the brothers Quay.
I think I'd like to be.
Yeah.
Well, I did a quick Google, and I think they do like stop animations. They do like stop animations and stuff like that. So yeah, but anyway, something for everyone to look at.
Wasn't an influence on this project.
All right, cool. Sound design. I really want to hear about like the sound design and the music of this, because a lot of this sounded to me anyway like really early kind of experimental Pink Floyd, like a lot of reverb and guitar scratchy kind of stuff. Which I love. So yeah, tell us about that. How did that come about? Did you guys do it yourselves, or did you have someone else on board? Or?
Tim, take it away. That was a lot of that was Tim's department with Adam.
Design with editor, who also edited today. But the two mainly for the sound design, it was very much towards the end of our post-production process, and I basically locked myself in this room at the university, which had a grand piano, a massive amount of these African instruments from around the world, and my guitar here, and
nice.
That was basically it. And then I just sat there with
electric guitar like
basically sat around my record with the recorder, made sounds across all the instruments and together. And we had it on the piano, which is only played once within the piece, within the actual film. But we were going to sort of build on that, and in the end, we sort of scrapped that idea and ended up building up the whole soundscape in the actual editing suite. So Adam and I sort of sat down together, and we went through all the sounds that we had and sort of just started linking them towards the movements and the moments and seeing what really what worked and what didn't, and it came together so sort of well in the end. It was very natural, but it was fun doing. Yeah, um, a lot of it was just experimenting, like the song. It was just this guitar piece that I'd written with pedal. And, Adam and I were sitting there, and we were like, what if we just flip this over, just reverse it, and put it in here at the end? And it worked. Like, we were just blown away, sort of, because it sort of it established sort of what our whole the whole meaning of the final sort of sequence of the film really was for us, with all these sort of sounds and moments forming together to create this sort of this small piece of music. But yeah, it was all a lot of experimenting and a lot of just I guess mucking around on instruments really to get that sound.
Yeah, yeah. Like I really love that. I really love like to hear that you gave yourself that time and that space to explore and experiment and try things out. And especially like at this point of your career as as students, or when you made this film anyway, you were students and you had that chance to explore and experiment. I heard an interview with like Trent Reznor, from Nine Inch Nails, talking about composing music for films these days,
Mm.
and just composing music in general. It's like it's fun, but he kind of misses the old days when he could just have all the equipment around him and he was able to just turn lots of different dials and push lots of different buttons and explore and try those and just try new things out. So it sounds like that's what you guys were really able to do with
Mm.
this film.
Yeah, well, I mean, Trent Reznor's always been a massive influence, sort of on at least my uh, musical output, and my writing output. And I just think, yeah, he's someone who I definitely look up to in the sense of someone who's able to just sort of source sounds and really just experiment with everything that he has in his sort of own bedroom and own house, and see what he really can create from it. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome work, guys. Yeah. Just see if there are any more questions here. Christina, did you have
Hmm.
anything else to ask?
Uh, I think I'm okay. I think I asked quite a lot earlier, and I could probably keep continuing.
One thing I
Yeah,
was
we
Yeah, did
probably
you have
should.
any
say though is
favorite shots, or that, like,
Let's
from
go.
all the footage, that was there something that stood out to you? That, I mean, the one that you mentioned with the girl in the park, that obviously sounded um, like that was the shot for you. But Desmond, did you have a shot that you filmed that you were particularly happy with and resonated? Or
I think it was maybe the incense burning in that temple, the sticks being placed there. I like that shot, and I thought it flowed well with that sequence. But yeah, it's just yeah, it's amazing how like all these different things you shoot when they're on film, how they stay with you in your memory because you know pretty much every single time you pull that trigger. Um, so it's yeah, I'd say maybe that would be the standout for me at least.
Yeah, great. Awesome.
Yeah,
Great.
I just wanted to, because you guys were talking earlier about the Super 8 as well before we joined the call, and the actual camera and stuff. And so this here is the camera that we used. It's a Canon 310 XL, and I would say definitely for anyone who's looking to get into shooting on film or Super 8 film, a camera like this is perfect, and it's so sort of lightweight and easy sort of to just take around and really experiment with. So yeah, if you can, go out there, buy yourself a camera, buy yourself some film from somewhere like Nanolab or Sydney Super 8 and just shoot.
That's awesome. And just quickly, where did you pick up that camera from?
It's actually it was mother's camera. Yeah, she handed it down to me, and I wasn't sure if it still worked or not, but we put batteries in and pressed the shutter, and it still goes.
Very lucky. Very lucky.
So it was
Love that
very
sound.
lucky because we had no idea if any of even the film was going to come out like or not. So it was a big sort of winging it and testing it. We put a roll in, shot it, got it developed down in Melbourne, and
How many
it
rolls
came
did
out
you
alright.
use? Yeah.
It was two, I think.
Yes.
It was
Two.
Yeah.
two.
Hold on.
Do you have the?
Yeah, the negs as well. Yep, 2 rolls.
Cool.
Yeah, so it was 2 rolls. 50D, I think. Yeah.
50,
Was
yeah,
there
50D.
was there something that you learned in the process, given it was your first time shooting with Super 8? Is there something, if you go back again to Super 8, is there something, a lesson that you can bring to next time?
I think we'll both have different things, but I think for me, we were overly careful this time. We were just measuring distance. We were making sure that everything would be in focus. We just didn't want anything to kind of go wrong, which makes sense. It was our first time. But I think if we were using the medium again, depending on the setting, there's probably more freedom we can exercise once we kind of get a sense of how it works. There's just something about Super 8 that itself is very, it feels informal and it feels rough. And so there's probably more room for error is what I'm saying when it comes to the actual shooting of it. And sometimes that works really well with the format. So I think maybe, yeah, it's just being, we can afford to be a little more lenient, I guess.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys. Really appreciated
Thank you so
you
much
showing
for,
us
thanks so much
that.
for having us.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us. Yeah, and
Yeah.
for sticking with us through the technical difficulties.
Oh, that's okay. I think this whole show has been full of technical difficulties, but we're getting there. So,
And can I just quickly do a shout out? Because my girlfriend just reminded me that she was the one that actually got me the Super 8 camera. So thanks, Anna. Just putting that out there. Anyway.
What
Work
model's
duties.
your Super 8 camera?
Sorry?
What model's your Super 8 camera?
Oh, hang on, I'll get it. It's a Nikon. Hang on.
Guys on your film camera. It is what it is.
Okay, here we are. So this is it.
Oh, wow.
You can see that. Yeah,
Beautiful.
I think this is from like 1968 or something. So,
Wow.
but yeah, it's got like 4 AA batteries in the bottom and it works. So they don't make them like they used to, I guess. But yeah.
No,
It's,
that's all you need.
Yeah. So I'm keen to put it to use. Yeah. Cool. All right. Cool. So shall we? Yeah. Thanks very much, guys.
yeah.
Thanks so
Hopefully
much
we
for
can
having
see
us.
more of your
Yeah,
work
thank
again
you.
sometime.
Awesome. So, yeah.
Cool.
Hey, it's just me. And people in the background. So I think we've got one more person. We need to bring Sid back. I don't think we have any more films left to screen, unfortunately, but we'd love to get Sid on and delve into his mind. So Sid, if you're out there, please hop on the queue so I can chat to you. So it's just me, and I think I can hear Brian's mic.
Yeah,
Is that correct?
Hang on a minute. Oh, there we are. Sorry. Ah, no. Hang on a minute. We have tech problems.
We could
always.
do. I could be a ventriloquist, and then you can speak through
You could
me,
be.
and I'll do the mouth
You could be.
movements.
Okay.
Could be interesting.
Could be. Am I still live right now? Yeah, so we do have Sid. Sorry, Sid is actually asking me a question while we're on Messenger right now, so I'm just trying to read it. But yes, hang on a sec. Sorry, Tom, could you take me off camera for a moment, please? There we go. Lovely. Okay. Just bear with me. You take over, Christina. Go for it.
Okay. Well, for all those for everyone watching, if you want to text through what were your favorite films of the night, do you feel inspired? You should. We'll have another screening in May that will most likely be live streamed. Probably now until the next 3 to 6 months, I foresee that we're going to be live streaming. And hopefully next time will be a little bit better. We've worked out we know what all the flaws have been, so next screening can only get better. But yeah.
Cool. All right.
You're back.
I'm back, and I think so. Just to explain, I was just trying to plug my phone in because this is actually streaming from my phone right now, and yes, had a few tech problems with the cord. Anyway, so I believe Sid is with us. Is that right, Tom?
No.
No, he's not.
No.
Okay, I'm going to tell him to dial in.
Yep.
This is great. So many ways of communicating with people. So, all right, he says he's in.
Have you been inspired to make some Super 8s now? Some Super 8
Oh,
films?
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm inspired to finish the one I started, which was just going to be a bit of a behind the scenes for a Kino screening. But yeah, not sure how that's going to go now since Kino live screenings won't be happening in the foreseeable future. So unless I just try and film all the antics that go on behind the scenes at just in my room, like this.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that would really be worth the processing costs of the film, but yeah, I could just go out and film empty streets maybe in the park. Who knows?
Yeah. I guess you just want to find out what the footage looks like.
Yes, definitely. Just want to make sure it comes out to begin with. Cool. Any sign of Sid?
No sign of
Doesn't
Sid.
look like it. Okay. Okay, well, while we try and sort out Sid, might just say that when's the next screening for Kino? We're back again in May, but I'm just trying to figure out
Yep.
what the date is. Do you have the dates there,
We
Christina?
no, we used to have it on our Facebook page. Oh, it's on our it's on our website though.
Yes, which is?
KinoSydney.com.
That's right. That's right. Kino Sydney. So while we're waiting for Sid, we might just also put out a bit of a reminder
Oh, we have
for
Sid.
Odds Harvest.
We have Sid.
Oh, okay. We've got
And
him.
the next screening's May 4th.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
I can
is
hear him.
anyone here?
Hey,
Where is he?
Sid.
Hey,
Sid.
Christina,
Sid.
it's me. Hey,
I'm here.
Don't do
Hey.
anything stupid.
Brian. Hi, Brian. Wait, that's Christina.
Hey, Sid.
Hello. Hi. And everyone at home, it's me, Sid. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Do you normally just walk down the street at night, talking into phones like this? Is this a normal thing for you?
I'm holding a laptop.
Oh, a laptop. Sorry, my mistake. Even better.
It's a super power 22-inch razor blade laptop. It's got a swivel. I'm rolling the laptop like a shopping cart.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So thank you for screening my film. It took 8 months to develop the script. Several years in development hell. But finally we got the project going.
Tell.
So thank
you. What was your budget?
It was like 40 mil.
40. Okay. I thought maybe 30 or so, but yeah, 40.
It was all computer generated. None of that was actually footage. It was all computer. Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Right.
I wanted to go for a film that looked like, I wanted to go for like a shot, like a phone footage vibe, but yeah, it's all computer animated. So thank you for,
That's amazing. Like the artistry behind that film and the technical expertise behind that. It's really it's evident. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Tell us about the story. What inspired you?
Well, I wanted to do a movie that was like a paper bag movie, and so it's a paper bag, and I guess sadness is involved because it's like a sad face. But yeah, so that's the background of the movie.
Yeah.
And you designed everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You designed the bag that it had to use.
Well, I paid a guy from Singapore $60,000 to design the concept art.
Yeah.
So it's but then it was really shit, so I just drew it myself. So I'm really
Pleased with the results.
Yeah. I'm happy. My money management skills are not. Yeah. Thank you. But
well, we know to go to you if we need funding.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I was head of the ABC's. Yeah. So that's why they're fucked. Yeah. What do you want to say, Brian?
I want to say, our soundy John Luna has said that your film looks very cleanly shot, judging by the laundry.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate that. It's clever.
Cool. Yeah. Look, I think paper bag head films are really an untapped area of the market.
They're the next Marvel.
I think you're really onto something. Yeah, the paper bag over the head universe. Yeah, absolutely.
It's expanding. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Have you got any current projects happening? Any future projects?
Well, I'm doing a YouTube channel where I try to upload a new sketch every Tuesday. It's called the Jom Gamp, JOM space GAMP. So that's what I'm doing.
JOMGAMP, is that right?
Yeah, Jom Gamp.
John
If you
Gamp.
type it into
All right.
YouTube, it'll think you're stupid. It'll be like, "What do you? That's not a thing." I'll try to autocorrect you,
Oh.
but don't let it.
I won't. That's why I'm trying to find it right now because I want to see what we can what you've been up to.
Yeah.
So, and maybe
Also,
we
can I just
share it
say,
with the audience.
can I just say that Christina looks like she was about to interview David Byrne from Talking Heads, but then David Byrne,
yeah,
but then David Byrne dropped out, so instead she decided to interview a men's rights activist. So that's. I'm not sure if I know you well enough to make that joke. I feel anxious.
Great, excellent.
Fantastic. Love your work.
Thank you.
Are you going to have a film for us next month?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, hold up. I'm just going to do some push-ups real quick. All right.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Cool. That's it. Give us 20.
Yeah. I feel like we should be joining in at this point, but
Oh, you can. I'm not. Yeah.
shall we sign off while doing push-ups? And
I think that's a good
the
way
final
to sign
frame.
off. Yes. Thanks. That's fantastic. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks very much, Fred. Yeah. Keep up. Just keep going. Keep going with that. You're doing really well, mate.
Thank you.
You have an incredible core at the end of it. Fantastic. Okay. Great. Great. So that's a classic Kino ending, I think. To a classic Kino screening, really. I think there were some fantastic films tonight. Thank you so much to the filmmakers involved, and thank you to the streamers out there who've stuck around.
Thanks for your patience.
And absolutely, yeah. And could we possibly get OzHarvest up on the screen? I forgot to mention them again, but if we could get to OzHarvest, who are doing fantastic work for those in need at this time. Please feel free to reach out to them and donate what you can.
They're a great cause. They've been around for quite a while. So they're a great organization to help.
Yes, indeed, yeah. And we will be sharing links to their website and places where you can contribute on our website and on Facebook, and we'll try and share it. Maybe we can share it via YouTube as well. Yes, thank you very much for joining us. We'll hope to see you again next month, and I think we'll be bigger and better next time. We've ironed out some of the creases, and we'll have some more great films for you.
Yep. So the date will be May 4th.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is it May 4th? Is it?
Yes. Yep. I was surprised you forgot, because do you want to explain May 4th to everyone?
Why do I need to explain May 4th? Okay, like if anyone watching this will know what May 4th means, it means that you have to get your inner Star Wars geek out and make Star Wars related films. So I think Star Wars isolation films is where it's at for May the 4th. Let's be ahead of the curve on this one. I think there's a lot of people that's going to make isolation films. It's probably going to be a lot of Yoda films because he lives on his own. So let's make this happen. I'm calling it May the 4th.
Cool.
Star Wars Isolation Films.
All right.
Cool. Okay.
Excellent.
Well, thanks very much for joining us. My name's Brian, and yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you next time.
Yeah. Likewise, but my name's Christina. But yeah, we'll see you next time.
Cool. Okay. Bye.